And Bernie Sanders' biggest failure, if you want to do electoral politics, you got to deal with the facts of electoral politics. Being attractive and being popular is good for a popularity contest. We've got a number of important stories to talk about today. We've got the continuing fight to raise taxes on the rich happening in DC right as we speak, being led by Bernie Sanders, AOC, and the Progressive Caucus, fighting to raise taxes on the rich, creating for the first time a corporate minimum tax. Corporations will no longer be able to get loopholes to have their taxes be zero because there will be a minimum tax of 15%, no matter what deductions, no matter what credits. A global sea change in American corporate tax law. They're raising taxes. They're creating a new income tax bracket for people who make more than $5 million. I think it's 46%. I have to go and look at it. And it includes capital and regular income. Huge tax increases on the rich happening right now. All of that was accomplished by wearing one dress. It is unbelievable, the power of AOC's posterior. She wore a dress, and now taxes are going up on the rich. Incredible. I also am going to make a call out. He wavered, chat. He wavered. This is what happens, chat, when you care what other people think about you. When you try to be cool, eventually you have a bad take. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. He's got a bad take. I don't personally care that AOC went to the Met Gala. Most of us would love to hang out with the cool, famous people, not weird ones. But it is a catastrophic PR failure as a congressperson, especially one that does decent work otherwise, both for mutual aid and in Congress. Bro, come on, man. You would think the one guy, you would think the millionaire in West Hollywood house guy would at least have the solidarity of his fellow famous socialist. She wore a dress to a fundraiser, bro. She didn't become a millionaire. She didn't get a book deal. She didn't get a speaking fee. She wore a dress for a fundraiser at an art museum in her own home city. Yes, it's an elite dinner. Yes, it's expensive ticket. But she got invited by the organizers because she's a politician for that city. This is something that happens in every single city. Every city has their politicians go to their art gallery gala. Yes, it is the best museum in America. You got it. It's in New York City. Congratulations. But come on, man. Pretending like this is some sort of betrayal is absurd. It's the ultimate posture. It's the ultimate posture to come pretend like she did something bad. And also, PR failure? No. No. It's a PR failure for Twitter people, Twitter lefties, and bad faith right-wingers. Go ask your normie mom. Go ask your normie girlfriend. Go ask your normie sister who likes fashion what they think about this. I'll tell you what they think about it. It's in Vogue right here. But Mike, we've convinced everybody. The debate is over. We don't need to outreach to normies, because this is an important conversation we've got to have with all of you that are here right now. We're going to have a conversation with all of you that are here right now. You're a politics freak. I want to let that sink in for you for a second. You're not normal. Now, that's not bad. That's good. I'm one of you. One of us. One of us. One of us. But guess what? Most people aren't. Most people aren't politics freaks. They think about politics for 10 minutes a week max. Okay? You're a politics weirdo. If you think that we're done with the debate, we're done with the discourse, we're done with convincing normies, we're done with our coalition building, you're wrong. What percentage of people do you think even know who AOC is? Serious question for you politics freaks. What percentage of people even know who AOC is? It's somewhere around 40 to 60%, depending upon where we are in the news cycle. All right? She seems very famous, and she's very famous to politics freaks. But she's not extremely famous to normies. You need to learn that your perspective is not the only perspective in the world. Mike, did you know that wearing a dress to a fundraiser is literal hypocrisy? Yeah. So what happened? I'm jumping ahead to the discourse. I'm making arguments before I even tell you people who didn't pay attention to Twitter what is even happening. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sent a message with her first Met Gala appearance. This is it. So Hassan, bad take, bro. I mean, I know he got roasted for this drip. Dr. Cube, thank you for the tier 1. He got roasted for this drip. He got roasted for his house. And so now he's kind of pandering. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, he's kind of pandering to the people that roasted him. And bro, like, I think that's not good. I don't think that's good. I don't think you should pander like that. Everybody is talking about AOC and her tax the rich dress. This is the complete opposite of bad PR. Of course it's good PR. Of course it is. This is stupid. It's incredibly stupid to pretend it's bad PR. It's not. Folks, it's not. All right, let's keep going. So this is Vogue. So why am I showing you the Vogue? Let me get into this. Why am I showing you the Vogue article? Because this is normie shit. This is women who like fashion. This is men who like fashion. This is a fashion magazine, right? So how is AOC being received among the non-politics freaks? That's how we determine if it's bad PR or not. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sent a message with her first Met Gala appearance. For her first appearance at the Met Gala, Representative AOC had to make a political statement. It was only right. And since she was at fashion's glitziest night, surrounded by some of the most powerful and famous people in the world, what better medium to get her message out than taxing the rich, or to have it written red on her dress? The Democratic Socialist Congresswoman wore a white gown by Brother Velas, splashed with a political slogan across the back. We can never get too comfortable at our seats at the table once they've been given, R.R. James, founder, creative director, and founder of the 15% Pledge, says. We must always continue to push ourselves, push our colleagues, push the culture, and push the country forward. Fashion is changing. America is changing. And as far as this theme goes, I think Alexandria and I are a great embodiment of the language fashion needs to consider adding to the general lexicon as we work toward a more sustainable, inclusive, and empowered future. Her bag also read, tax the rich. Drive the message home. That's it. That's it. Fucking normies love this shit. This is like the TwitchCon of fashion, okay? For all you Twitch freaks. We're the person who gets it on cable news is John Harwood.
The nexus of fashion and politics, because Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez attended the Met Gala last night. And this may be the dress that is most remembered from it. On the back of this dress, it said, tax the rich. But this is also, and there she is standing next to the designer who is one of the few Black designers who was featured at this event. This, of course, Maggie, is one of the most expensive and elitist events of the year. And I wonder if you think she thread the needle here with her message and her presence there or not.
I think she did. Look, I think there's going to be an effort by Republicans to say, look, this is I saw a lot of this last night. This is a gift to Republicans in the midterms. The midterms are not going to be decided on AOC's dress, first of all. But second of all, I think that it is unsurprising to see criticism that there she is hobnobbing with the wealthy. That message of that dress is not a popular message in that crowd. And so there is something risky about doing it. I think that, she could continue to preach to people who already agree with her, or she could preach to people who don't. And she chose to do the latter.
And I would say it's the opposite.
So first of all, it's not about the rich, okay? The purpose of this dress is not to convince the rich, you clownish idiots. The purpose of this dress is that every media outlet that normies watch pays attention to the Met Gala. It's a cultural event. And there's AOC saying tax the rich. and making it political and putting the message out there. Now, you can say that doesn't work, or you can have a bunch of criticisms for it, but the reality is that that's what she's doing. She's not going there and saying, I just love my rich celebrity friends, which 99.99999% of politicians would do. She's doing outreach to a group of people that don't get it, which is the vast majority of Americans, which is largely apolitical. That's the truth. That's why Bernie Sanders lost the primary, in case you're wondering. This is why Bernie Sanders lost the primary, because he didn't have enough normie reach. That's it. That's it. It's not that people didn't agree with him. They did. He just didn't have enough normie reach. He didn't give enough fuzzy feelings to the right people. People hate that. They hate me for saying it. This is the thing that people will hate me the most for saying, which is like, I like that AOC is more of a celebrity. Good. I like celebrities that agree with me. And I don't like celebrities that don't. And the celebrities I agree with them, I want them to be more popular. I want them to be more influential. I want a bunch of people to agree with people that I like and agree with, and not like people that I don't like and don't agree with. Maybe that's a 0 IQ take, but that's my take. There's so many people missing the point of saying tax the rich. Judge thinks she is talking about wage cucks with high salaries, when in truth she's talking about the mega rich. And here's the other thing. She is taxing the rich. She's working on it right now. If we tax the rich right now, it's because of AOC. If we raise taxes on the rich right now, it's because of AOC. Not my Twitter account, not anything else. It's because AOC is in Congress with the squad, working with Bernie Sanders, and she's saying, we're not going to pass that bipartisan infrastructure bill unless you pass the reconciliation bill that raises taxes on the rich. She's doing this. She's not just some celebrity at an event saying tax the rich. She's actually trying to tax the rich right now. Might be a good idea to have the normies see that message while she's doing it. This strikes me as like neoliberal, though. It's defanging a revolutionary idea. Okay, first of all, that's not what neoliberal means. I think you're talking about the concept of recuperation, which existed far before neoliberalism did. And the truth is, taxing the rich is not a revolutionary point, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The question is, what is she doing right now? It's about getting normies to come into the idea of redistribution. Taxing the rich is not a revolutionary idea. It's really not. If you come on. Mike, I could agree with you more. This is why I listen to your stream. It's part of what I realized how difficult it is to explain to a Norman how free healthcare works on the left, when the right could just be like, brown bad, build wall. There's too few leftists who have worked in politics. I'm so sick of this. All they do is fight with the left on praxis, get mad at anyone working within the system to do what we want. Yes, but a lot of neoliberals do it, sure. I think it would have been different if her dress said anything else, like eat the rich or make the rich pay. That would have been hilarious if it said eat the rich. That would have gotten everybody to melt down. So I think the point I'm trying to make with all of you is AOC being popular and liked by normies is good. And Bernie Sanders' biggest failure, if you want to do electoral politics, you got to deal with the facts of electoral politics. Being attractive and being popular is good for a popularity contest. And if you don't like her being liked, her being popular, her being a celebrity, too f***ing bad. And here's the thing. Bernie Sanders did the same shit. Bernie Sanders brought in Killer Mike. Bernie Sanders brought in Danny DeVito and Susan Sarandon and the Hulk. Why? Because those people are super intelligent Marxist theorists? No, because they're popular celebrities. This is how politics works. The Strokes didn't play at Bernie Sanders' rally in New Hampshire because they were the genius political theorists. They did it because they're a popular music group. Anybody who's not clueless understands the power of personality, the power of popularity, the power of celebrity. The question isn't, so if you don't like, I mean, it's a brain dead take. It's a brain dead take. Now, there's a lot of things to be said about charity. And I've said them. A month ago, I got yelled at for a month or two ago, I had people chasing me around because I said charity is liberal. People still yell at me about it. In fact, there was like 1,000 like tweet the other day yelling at me for because I said that charity was liberal. I get it every which way. If somebody was saying that AOC getting money donated to the art gallery in New York City was going to challenge capitalism, that would be absurd, but no one's saying that. Okay, can I hear that a leftist that is mad about this and they're planning to win anything or do anything without giving anyone support with the far left in this country? So their argument, and this is an argument from Andre that I saw today, which is people have supported taxing the rich since at least 2010, so it's pointless to make this argument. It's pointless to do stuff like this because people already agree with us. We don't need to make these arguments. We don't need to do outreach. We've already won. People already agree with taxing the rich. That's his belief. I feel like there's no matter what she does, if she doesn't go, she's not supporting the arts. If she goes and wears a normal dress, people would still be complaining about her fashion choice. Damn, she do. Well, obviously, the thing is, this is her art museum. This is New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art. She's a representative for New York. They go to this kind of stuff. That's what representatives are for. It's not like she flew to LA for this shit, okay? Zizek says it's important to create new cliches. Of course he does, because Zizek is smart. All right, so let's finish the way the Normans are interpreting this.
Of hobnobbing with the wealthy. And it shows the talent that AOC has. She has a strong belief system. She's able to articulate that belief system. You know, we're now in this extended debate over the Biden economic agenda, and Joe Manchin's out saying too big, too fast, too many taxes, and how do progressives counter that? And with AOC, you see she uses her star power to go into that venue, high-profile venue, and drive a very strong message that is now on the front page of newspapers, and we're talking about it on television, and it's precisely the point of the argument. Tax the rich. Democrats are right now, progressive Democrats, are trying to defend a menu of tax increases that Biden wants to use to pay for his domestic benefits agenda, for climate change, for child tax credits, for preschool, free community college, a whole range of things. And she goes and all of a sudden focuses attention on precisely what progressives want the message. And it's a popular message.
Well, look, I think if you want to argue whether or not taxing the rich is a good policy, that's fine. Have that argument. But to be outraged that she wore that dress to the Met Gala and say it's somehow hypocritical requires you to believe that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez doesn't realize that the Met Gala has rich people who are hobnobbing behind closed doors.
You think she knows, and you think she knows that?
I think she might know that.
We all know
People
that.
who are outraged about it that's how you know that they were stuck by the message.
Yeah.
That it hit them because she drove something that they didn't want to be on the front page.
John Harwood.
So, by the way, chat, that's called winning. The media have absolutely no response. They just have to say she won, she was right. Everybody, it's a popular message to tax the rich. On the centrist of centrist television shows, they just said taxing the rich is popular. I think it's working. I think it might be working. I think it might have an impact. And listen, I'm going to tell you something you're not going to want to hear. Politics takes a long time. There's a Lenin quote I love, which is, some decades, weeks happen. Some weeks, decades happen. What does that mean? It means you're going to be grinding away for change for decades, and it'll seem like nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden things start to happen. It gets to a tipping point. This is part about building a social, cultural media landscape where progressive social change can take place. Well, who called her to the gala? Why would some rich person invite the most left politician? So the Met Gala is a fashion thing. There's something known, I think it's like the Costume Club or something. It is the Costume Institute. Okay. So that's what it is. It's for the Costume Institute at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's one of the major sources of funding for the museum. That's what it is. And the person who invited her was a fashion designer because it's a fashion thing. It's for fashion. Bernie's been doing this for decades. We are just now seeing a big group of progressives like AOC the Squad who are not only winning elections but making waves and controlling the narrative in favor of leftism. It's huge, but it's still going to take a long time to get further because of systemic obstacles against the left. But the longer we go, the further left we go. Well, first of all, we're raising taxes on the rich right now. It's literally the argument. The argument that's happening in Congress right now is over how much we tax the rich. For how many benefits? How much climate change action? How much money is going to kids? Free pre-K, free community college, a civilian climate corps, infrastructure spending. All that stuff is happening right now. It's this week. She's not just saying generically tax the rich as a virtue signal. She's not just saying it as a virtue signal. It's the debate.
Or it's not real.
Sorry, Maggie. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, or the outrage isn't real and it's manufactured, which is the other piece of it, which I think is a lot of
that
what
could
we're
be.
saying. Just saying.
Sometimes that happens.
Sometimes that happens. You know what? It makes me angry that you even said that, Maggie.
Like it's polyester outrage. I hear what you're saying. Maggie, thank you so much. John Harwood, thank you.
Bernie Sanders' biggest weakness, and people, again, you're going to be mad at me for saying this, but Bernie Sanders' biggest weakness was he didn't have enough mainstream appeal. And his message really resonated with me. But it was a message that focused on people's discontent and anger. And it really appeals to me. But for some people, that's not enough. Especially Normans. It's not enough. Free public pre-K is a massive jobs program, the level of which we have not seen in decades. In decades, it's probably the New Deal. Cannot be understated how beneficial the program would be. There's also a program for home health care. That's another massive jobs program. And I gotta tell you, like, you know, I disagree that it was a PR failure. I think it was a PR success. I think for leftists on Twitter, it was another one of those AOC is betraying us because they're in this hyper. See, leftists, a lot of leftists are this hyper vigilant. They're an abused dog, right? You know, when you're around an abused dog that's been hit before, whenever you move fast or you raise your hand, they flinch. They act like they've been kicked. They act like they've been hit. It's terrible. But just because you feel traumatized because Dennis Kucinich didn't turn out to be the guy you wanted him to be, doesn't mean you need to start acting like AOC wearing a tax the rich dress. It's a tax the rich dress is somehow betraying you.
When Aurora and I were first kind of partnered, we really started having a conversation about what it means to be working class women of color at the Met. And we said, you know, we can't just play along, but we need to break the fourth wall and challenge some of the institutions. And you know, while the Met is known for its spectacle, we should have a conversation about it.
That's on not some sort of cable news program, not some sort of politics freak. That's Vogue. That's Normans. Who do you think is liking this tweet? Politics people? That's the thing that you have to get over. You know, okay, so this let me cap this with the point. And I'll show you the tweets that I made last night. Cuz I was having a blast. This is making me I didn't even get mad. I was just I was laughing my ass off at how people were pretending to be mad at a dress. I was having a fucking blast. I was laughing my ass off. It's the first organizer job I ever had. The first organizer job I ever had, I sat down with my trainer, who is a grizzled organizer who did the circuit. You know, he went around. He was working for Planned Parenthood. He would work. It was I want to say it was 2013, 2014. And he sat down with me and he said, the first thing you've got to remember is that you're weird. And I was like, what? And he's like, you follow politics relentlessly. You have strong ideological opinions. You have thoughts about the Social Security Trust Fund. You're weird. And he said, that doesn't mean that you can't get other people to care about those things, but you have to talk to them where they are in their language. You have to let them lead the conversation about their concerns. And it's not the other way around, or you're never going to convince a single person about anything. Just whenever you feel yourself getting frustrated about politics and enraged about how are people not mad about X, Y, or Z, just repeat to yourself, I'm weird and they don't know. People are left-leaning, but they've got a lot of stuff on their plate. And for many people, politics is stressful and anxiety-inducing and conflict. Things that they've been trained their whole lives to try to avoid. So if you're going to come to people and talk to them about these things, you've got to come in their spaces with a conversation that they want to have. You are a weirdo. Never forget that, or you'll just be a crank shouting on a soapbox. And honestly, that conversation might not have had an impact on me as much as it did, except for the part where I actually went out and started knocking on doors and talking to thousands of normies. I started talking to actual normies, and I realized that that advice was the best advice I ever could have gotten. People did agree with me, as long as we got the conversation to develop in a way they wanted it to develop, instead of a way that I wanted to impose on them. And so many people who are politics hobbyists, because that's what a lot of us are. A lot of us are politics hobbyists, right? Other people are obsessed with, I don't know, Warhammer figures or exercise or, home brewing, or, everybody's got their thing, their video games. Everybody has their thing there that they spend a lot of time thinking about more than they probably should, right? And for many of us, that's politics. And you know what? Politics is very important. It's a good thing to spend a lot of time thinking about because it matters. But don't forget who you are. Been talking more to my politics to my mom, who's always been left-leaning, but definitely more of a lib. I recommend checking out some more leftist content. And today she called Obama a weenie, so I think I'm getting somewhere. I don't take any leftist seriously who hasn't organized or participated in mutual aid. These are the folks who have a podcast and post on Twitter about how left they are. Listen, I like posting on Twitter about how left I am. I like making my show on Twitch, but I will always be a Bernie stan and an AOC stan because I'm not stupid. I understand that that's how politics works. You need to have a unifying figure around which people can rally. Look what happened now that Bernie's campaign is over. Do you think the left suddenly collapsed into infighting because of something that happened? The something that happened is we don't have a man to rally around anymore right now. We don't have a goal to all be fighting for. We're all sitting here, atomized and alone, swirling in our own piss. So no, I'm not going to shit on the person that's probably going to be one of our major leaders for decades to come. I'm going to build her up. If she really fucks up, I'll let you know. Don't worry. I'm not going to shit on Bernie Sanders. I'm not going to shit on AOC unless they really, really, really deserve it. Because they represent the left. Whether you understand it or especially if you don't even like it. AOC is the left to American normie. Bernie Sanders is the left to an American normie. If their popularity goes down, leftist popularity goes down. That's the truth. Accept it, learn it, and believe it. If you don't like that fact, I don't know what to tell you because that's the reality. And, you can fight up, you can go up the hill, you could fight against it. You can scream and screech and rage against popularity contests, and it should be about the issues, but it is, but it isn't. All right, so the dress discourse is probably some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen, because people who are against AOC, they just don't like AOC. Like that's what it is. Here's what I said. So many leftists want to be in marginalized subculture and hate to see one of their own gaining cultural power. AOC wearing a dress to a fundraiser for her local art museum isn't selling out the left. Please, I beg you, talk to one normie this year. This is the take that I liked from Hassan. But then he got weak. He got weak and he was like, it's a PR failure. It's not. It's not. It's a PR win. Did you see how Ben Shapiro was spamming about AOC all night yesterday? Exactly. They know it's a PR win. The conservatives know it's a PR win. Why do you think they yelled about it? Because they knew all the normies were going to see that and go, wow, AOC's right. So they had to spend their time shitting on her because they didn't want the Normans to see Tax the Rich and go, who is that beautiful woman? The Normans who don't know who AOC is. Oh, she's a congresswoman? Oh, she's a leftist? Oh, she's with Bernie Sanders? That's what a Norman would say. But you're part of the 40% who knows who she is. Either AOC paid $30,000 to attend the Met Gala or she received a $30,000 gift. It's no. Going to a fundraiser is not a gift. Have you been to one? I have every single major gala fundraiser I've ever seen. The congressperson that lives in that area goes. Jesus Christ. She should owe $9,600. No. What are conservative networks saying this? Oh, sure. Let's check it out. All right, hold on. Secretary squirms. Blinken faces bipartisan over botched Afghan pullout. Wow. They don't even care. I was totally wrong. They don't even care. Wow. See, Fox News understands Normans, man. This is why Fox News is so much better at politics than we are. They don't even care. I was totally wrong. I thought there was just AOC, thirst traps is half of their stuff. All the political statements at the Met Gala. See, there's another congresswoman who went from New York, Carolyn B. Maloney, who famously wore a burqa saying the Taliban bad right after 9/11. Custom Tax the Rich dress. Well, at the most elitist event in the world, AOC will soon be rich with a ginormous production deal from somewhere and done with politics. Guarantee it. Stop treating any of these people like celebrities, and they are public servants and work for us. Guys, whenever someone says stop treating a politician like a celebrity, that politician is very popular. Twitter! It's a Twitter coverage? Conservatives call Democratic Socialists a farm while her defenders call the splashy dress iconic. Even Fox News doesn't care about the left critiquers. It's not courageous, it's trolling, it's a propagandistic slogan, the rich are taxed. She's buying into the vulgar wealth culture she claims to oppose while also getting all the benefits. I mean, they can't. There's no actual coherence in attacking AOC for this chat. It's completely incoherent. Let's watch the Normans.
Well, not just fashion statements, some political ones as well from some local politicians. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio.
Wait, Mike, it's her local politicians. It's the Met. It's the Met, Mike. It's the Met. Somebody yelled at me because I said it was her local museum. People were like, it's the Met, Mike. It's the Met. She's from New York. I'm sorry your city sucks. I don't know what to tell you. They have a nice museum. She's from New York. What do you want from me? It's her local museum. What do you want? Want me to pretend that New York sucks because your shithole town sucks?
Cortez wearing a dress that had "Tax the Rich" stitched into it. Also, we saw Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney with a dress that paid tribute to women's voting rights. Bear in mind, this is part one of part two of this gala. This one tonight, of course, another one.
Chad, does this look like a PR fail for AOC? Does this look like a PR fail for AOC? You're watching the Norman coverage. Does it look like she's getting roasted by anyone? All the Normans like it. Seems like all the normies like it quite a lot. I don't know. It was a humongo win. The only people even the Fox News had to wrote a balanced article about it. It was a huge win. The only people it's not a win with are the people who already don't like AOC. They don't like AOC because she's not bringing socialism to them. It's a little cringe, let's be honest. I mean, guys, just because you don't like, listen, okay. You know what? I like the tweet and we're going to read it. Is the dress cringy as hell? Yes. But whatever you love it or hate it, you're all talking about it and getting the message out was obviously the intent here. I'd much rather this be the main coverage of the Met than the uncritical drooling over excess that it usually is. I think that's a pretty good take. From Ravana, another Twitch streamer. I don't care if it, by the way, let me just say this. Something cringe is in the eye of the beholder. Cringe is in the eye of the beholder. You know who is the most concerned about cringe? Young kids and young adults. Because you're not confident in your own skin yet. So you're so worried that someone's going to find you cringe and it's going to devastate your narcissistic self-regard. Who cares if it's cringe? Do you like it or not? You're never going to be happy worried about how other people see you. You got to love yourself first, bro. The moment you no longer care about being cringe is the moment you win. The question is, did the Normans like it? And from what I can see, they did. And I'll say one more thing about this. I'll say one more thing about this discourse and about politics in general. On the left, the populist left in particular, there's this kind of pseudo-religious belief that the politics of resentment is all you need to do. The politics of eat the rich, kill the rich, guillotine the rich, you're exploited is all you need to do to organize people. And I hate to tell you this, it's not. It's not. It's an important part. It's the core element, class consciousness, class conflict. But it can't be the only note you play. You have to talk about solidarity. You have to talk about beauty. You have to talk about love. You've got to talk about togetherness and cooperation. You can't just be 100% angry bro energy. You have to learn to play some different music from time to time. Now, I am 100% angry bro energy. I'm 100% love Bernie Sanders in the fact. There's another tweet I said yesterday, which is, I'm definitely closer to Bernie's absolute zero fashion sense and terrible haircut socialism. But it's absolutely hilarious to watch AOC get everyone annoying on this website mad at the same time. This is me. Zero drip, terrible haircut Mike. And I like Bernie's rumpled suits. I like the fact that his suits don't fit. I like that his hair looks like a Doc Brown from Back to the Future. But you know what? It's nice to have somebody who hits a different note from time to time, right? I'm sorry, I just think we're seedy grad if we consider tax the rich to be a leftist stance as progressive at best. Okay, let me just say this. Obviously, we want to do more than tax the rich. Obviously, we want to do more than just tax the rich. However, right now, in Congress, we're trying to tax the rich. There are significant tax increases being proposed right now to pay for a massive expansion of the welfare state. Maybe one of the key figures in the plan to tax the rich, spreading the message that we should tax the rich at the exact moment we're trying to tax the rich, might be useful. Might have some use.